This week, we start reading the book of Leviticus, book of Vayikra, which talks all about the sacrifices that actually took place right behind me on this Temple Mount for many hundreds of years. Sacrifices still exist today, not in the form of animals, but rather in sacrifices that we make for important things. But there's one condition the Torah tells us, that when you make a sacrifice, al kol korbancha takriv melach, salt needs to be positioned, placed on all sacrifices. And the same thing today, when we make a sacrifice, we need to put salt on it. It needs to have salt in it. And what does that mean? See, what's the quality of salt? Salt brings out the taste of every different type of food. It brings out the strength. It discovers the core of that which it's put on. And that's the same thing. When we make a sacrifice, it has to reveal our core. It has to connect us to our inner true self, the essence of who we are. Otherwise, it's probably not a good sacrifice. And I think the following story illustrates this point. It's a story that today is sung by a famous Israeli singer, but for Chabad Hasidim, we've known it for hundreds of years. And that is the Alter Rebbe, the first Chabad Rebbe, once received a box of tabak, which was an ingredient that people would use to smell. But he didn't use this thing for sniffing and smelling. So he removed the lid, the silver lid of the tabak box, and he used it as a mirror. He used it to straighten his tefillin. One day, one of his Hasidim was telling the story, and he said that the Alter Rebbe broke off the lid in order to use the lid as a mirror. The Alter Rebbe's grandson, the CWH, he said no, he didn't break it. He just removed the wire in order to have the lid as a mirror, but he didn't break it. And the Rebbe on Pesach in 1977 asked the follling question. Why was it so important for the CWH to stress the point they didn't break it, but rather they just removed the wire? And if you broke it, big deal. And then went on to explain that in Judaism, we don't break things in order to do mitzvahs. We do not ruin something, cause a break, cause a destruction, even for the amazing mitzvah of tefillin. You merely remove the wire, and then you can use it as a mirror. And that's exactly this point. We don't break ourselves to make a sacrifice. We don't ruin, destroy ourselves. A sacrifice needs to bring out the best in us. When we do a sacrifice, if we're destroying, if we're making things bad for ourselves, something's wrong with this sacrifice. But if it has salt, if it's something which is bringing out our core, it's something which is revealing to ourselves our true identity and allowing our potential to flourish in the best possible way, then it's a good sacrifice. We should make sacrifices that discover our potential and bring out the best in us, and then ultimately we will merit to do the real sacrifices here right behind me with the coming of Mashiach, speedily in our days, amen, and hopefully the Korban Pesach in just a week over with the coming of Mashiach. Shabbat Shalom.